So I'm thinking, just as I go, about the world and the roles of men and women in the world, and how those roles differ, and how the abilities of men and women differ. I'm thinking, for example, that you have your house and your car, you have your office, you have roads and pavements, you have street lights, you have trains and cars and aeroplanes. You have roads and pavements. You have houses. You have everything in our environment, everything in society that functions that we depend on to survive. We have all of these things because of the efforts of men, not the efforts of women. We have cars and trains and aeroplanes and ships because of the efforts of men, not the efforts of women. It is the way things are, and the reason I'm saying these things is because it's true, and because it's never said, it's never acknowledged the efforts and abilities of men, the absolutely essential efforts of men that makes our life possible. Women do not do these things because women are not able to do these things. But what women are able to do is to create people, to actually manufacture human beings. And that amazing ability is why men work so hard to support women and to support the world and make the world function, to enable women to manufacture people. It seems to me that this is the essential reality of life, that women manufacture human beings and men do everything else to make this possible, to support it, to make it work. So the roles of men and women are very different, essential in their own ways. But I'm doing this to recognize, to acknowledge the efforts of men, which are never recognized, never acknowledged, never appreciated. I'm thinking of the expression women and children to the lifeboats first. That says to me that the world has decided that women are more important than men. The amazing ability of women to create people makes women, in the eyes of society, makes women the most important entities that there are. And men are regarded as being second best, less important. I see it differently. I don't see men as being of less value than women. I see the roles of men to be as vital as the roles of women. I suppose it can be put simply as women do indeed manufacture human beings. But it is men who make it possible to support this function. It is men who do everything else in the world to make it possible for women to create people and for people to live in safety and for people to function properly. So the world works because of the efforts of men, not the efforts of women. It could be said that the reason we have a world is because of the efforts of women. But making the world work is down to men. And I don't see any problem in recognizing this and giving credit where it's due. It is men who make the world function. We have our houses and roads and pavements and trains and trucks and cars and aeroplanes. We have our offices, we have our gas and electricity, we have our water supply, we have our roads and pavements, we have all of these things because of the efforts of men. We wouldn't have any of these things if we were dependent on women for these things. But it could be said we wouldn't have anything at all without the efforts of women. So this is not a comparison of worth. What this is recognition of the efforts of men. Recognition that never happens. And I think this recognition should happen. I'm wondering about that expression, women and children to the lifeboats first. I don't see it that way. I think that women are vital in their own way, and also men are vital in their own way. I do not rate women as being more important than men. I see women as being different to men, with different capabilities, different role in the world. But it is not a more important role, it is just a different role. I think women and children first to lifeboats is reprehensible. It is evil to think this way. Yet it is very common. It is almost a default behavior in people, a default belief. This is wrong, and we should see men and women differently. They are different and need to be treated differently in many cases. But their value is the same. It should not be women and children to the lifeboats first. That is not the way we should be seeing the world.